Welcome back to this week's episode of Unlocked. As I said in my previous episode, we were going to have Golden Tate on, so welcome.
What's happening?
How's your heart doing after got you coming in the door?
You know, I'm doing all right. How are you doing? Because I was about ready to go pop, pop.
I am dying. That would have been hilarious, honestly.
No, you might have had a broken nose, and then I'm like, oh no, what did I just do? Because I'm a reactive type of guy, and like I'm a jokester. But you got me good right there. And I had to pee, so I almost peed myself.
That would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
That would have been hilarious.
Down my leg, and it's blue because I'm doing that methylene blue medicine stuff. So it's going down my leg blue.
What is that?
You know, it's something that is a lot of people are doing. I'm hearing a lot about it. I don't completely
What's it supposed to do?
Well, for me,
because I've heard about it.
I take the one that like helps with like brain fog and ADHD. Because I'm heavy ADHD, and so I'm looking for anything to kind of help me lock in a little bit more. So have
you noticed a difference?
Yeah.
Really?
I've been able to take that instead of Adderall, which has been good for me. And I've heard it helping with people dealing with cancer and anxiety and all this stuff. And it's something that's been around for a bunch of years, but right now it's heavily marketed.
That's awesome. I need to try that. See, I'm a guinea pig. I'll try anything.
Yeah,
I'll try anything. Okay, so I had to tell the funny story of, first off, I feel like, Nashville's big city, small town. But like, Elise reached out to me and invited me to the dinner with Judah. And I spoke about that on my podcast before this, just about like what a life-changing experience that was.
So good.
And it was absolutely amazing. But she invited me to that, and then it was like clockwork, and y'all were down in the Bahamas, and next thing I know, I get a FaceTime from Robert, and it's your face, and you're like, Savannah, and I was like, what is happening right now? How are like all these worlds coming together? And then Elise and I had been texting. I was like, you got to tell me, like, is he with someone? Is he? And she's like, oh girl, I got you. And she snatches his phone out of his hand, and he afterwards, like, he didn't realize we knew each other. Mm-hmm. And so afterwards he goes, Savannah, I was about to freak out. He was like, all I could think of was, oh my God, she's going to think that this girl is somebody that like I'm seeing, and that like, it was hilarious.
Yeah. It's funny you mention it because like within a month span, like I personally had never met you, but knew all about you through working here and admired your work. And then all of a sudden I met him, and then we were at a couple events, and kind of going back to the Bahamas, I was sitting there talking to him, and I kind of heard the situation that happened years ago.
Yeah.
And then I remember, but I'd forgotten about it. And then I was sitting there talking about it, and he mentioned you, and I was literally mid-conversation, and my mouth goes like, and I was like, and I just stopped. I forgot what he says. Like, you're the guy that was dealing with all that shit. And he was like, yeah. That's me, because like I just talked to him because he played football at Georgia.
So he played football at Auburn. And then he played for like a hot second with the Falcons. Right. And then Croy Bierman like stepped on his foot and broke his foot, I guess.
Bad luck.
Yeah, just bad luck. And then he was just like, oh, I can make more, because he wasn't in like he was a long snapper. Mm-hmm. And so like after his whole scandal went on, Grayson was like, dude, I mean, you can take the title for making long snapper school again. Like, at least, Let's go. But yeah, no, he did tell me, because I was like, hey, are there any good questions I should ask Golden?
Uh-oh.
And he said a good one to say for the end, which I'm just going to hit us off with this one, is asking him, how does it feel being a star NFL receiver and losing to a long snapper in pickleball?
I can confirm nor deny that happened, but I'm pretty sure that did not happen. But maybe I was a little too turned to remember. But if you watching right now, you can get the smoke whenever you're ready, big dog. All right. And I'm not going to take it easy on you. Okay. Going to air me out on my friend's podcast and call me out. Oh, you got another thing coming, big dog. Mm-hmm.
I'm dying. This is so great. This is amazing.
Did he really say that?
Look.
That son of a gun.
Look.
I'm going to beat his ass in pickleball. Oh. We might need to FaceTime him right now. I want to hear it out of his own mouth. Did you really say this? He better answer too. Woo,
Probably
it's
will.
getting real here.
Let's see what he says. You're in trouble.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. What's happening?
Man, I mean, I don't know what you want me to say.
I
He
want you
said
to.
you did not beat him in pickleball.
We didn't get a chance to play, but he knew it was coming.
Oh, so you all
mad.
cap. You all cap. Well, you know where I stay. You know where I stay. You can come get it today, tomorrow, next week, last week if you want. I'm out here.
All right, you know where I'll be too.
He was. I told him, but the best part of this whole thing now is that you were lying, and he said, "Well, I can't confirm nor deny. Maybe I was too turned to remember."
Right. So I gave you the benefit of the doubt.
No, we were getting ready to play. The trash talking session started on the driving range, and we went there, and then it started flooding like within 20 minutes of being there.
I'm dying.
Okay. Well, come
All
on,
right.
work your way down here and come get a proper ass whooping.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. We'll see about that.
Good seeing you, Bob.
All right. Love you, Beth.
You got it.
Later.
Yeah. So that's actually hilarious.
That dirty dog.
He totally lied about that.
I'm going to forgive him, though, because he's been through a lot.
He's been through a lot. That's gonna be his excuse. He's been through a lot. Also, too, it's very weird. I'm like, people are like, are y'all back together? I'm like, no. I was like, we're just friends.
Y'all should, because like after meeting him and then hanging with y'all are so good together, I feel like. And I've never seen y'all together.
We'll eventually. I say we'll eventually end up back
Okay,
together.
good. We're going to pray and manifest that.
We
'cause
are.
I love the shit talking part of him, but you can tell he's a good
Oh,
human.
he is.
He's a good
He's an
dude.
insane human being. I don't think I've ever met anyone more. He's just a little emotionally challenged, as I like to say.
Yeah. And and I'm going to choose to understand that. So.
Oh my God. Okay. So but like you said, we had never met. And then literally from Elise reaching out, inviting me to that dinner, and then you guys going down to the Bahamas, running into him. Then I think in like the span of a week, we were around each other like 3 or 4 days.
Yes.
Like,
Yes. And it was awesome.
everyone had the best time.
I got to golf with you, got to worship with you, got to learn more about you. You even came to our crib and showered before the Florida's event. Like
I did. I got your daughter's hair curled.
That's right.
I got her ready. Then your little one hit me. And that's when, like, I loved seeing that about you, because like all day, like you're so much fun, but like a lot of parents these days don't parent their kids anymore. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah,
like they're just more concerned with kind of being their best friend and not parenting them. And like you heard from the other room when you came in there and you go, "Did you just hit her?" And he just looked down and looked up and goes, "Yes, sir." And you were like, "What do you say?" Look at her in the eyes. You stand up. And I was like, whoa. And he did it immediately and was like, "I'm so sorry."
Yeah, because if he didn't, it was going to be belt to ass. I don't care if you 3. We raising good humans in the Tate household.
But that, like, I love to see like how you and Elise just like parent. And I mean, I've never come in contact with a better mother.
Yeah.
Like the way, even when we were playing golf, like that was her first time playing like 18 holes of golf and whenever, and we're like halfway through and she's like, "I miss my babies. I'm going to tell the babysitter she can just bring them to us." Like she's not used to being away from them. And she's like putting together this whole homeschool program for them and making sure that they've just got like the best of the best guidance.
Absolutely.
I was like in such awe just sitting there listening to her.
Yeah, she is fun. It's fun watching her work, but it stresses me out trying to keep up with her. I cannot keep up with her. And I'm a pretty high energy person, but like watching her just bounce from thing to thing and be efficient in every single thing she does. Like, you know how your parents growing up say, "Hey, you can do and be anything you want."
Yep.
They don't really mean that.
No.
They just tell you so you have, for positivity. But when it comes to Elise, like I literally mean it when I say that she could do anything she puts her mind to, and she has done it over and over. She self-published in her own book, her own sign language book for kids and parents.
Yep. Sign me up for a happy home.
Yeah. And what it is, since we got started on it, it's like the very basic sign language we've learned. And her mother worked with special needs kids before Elise was around, and learned that kids, before they can speak, they can kind of tell you what they want. Food, diapers, water, mama, daddy. And if you can cut out on 1% of the headaches of like temper tantrums because they just physically get frustrated and can't tell you what it is, you're doing yourself a great service. And on top of that, it gets them stimulating. Like, you know, at first before we gave London food, it was always like, hey, here's food. And then we give her food. And we just did it over and over and over. And then one day it was just like, London was just like, oh my gosh, you just signed it. And so it kind of clicks. And then our daughter's a highly intelligent individual.
Oh, I could tell just by in like her presence and her calmness and her like, they're all amazing.
Thank you.
They really are. And I was like, these are the most gorgeous kids. Obviously me, you know, the superficial part of me was like, oh my God, they're so cute. Like, and I don't say kids are cute if they're not cute. I'll be like, oh, their shoes are cute, you know, but like.
You're so sweet.
Yeah, exactly.
Cute's not the right word, but you're sweet, honey.
Exactly. No, they're amazing. And how old are the kids?
7, 6, and 3.
Holy, they're tall.
Yeah. London looks like a 9-year-old and acts
Holy
like a 9-year-old.
cow.
Boley's big as well, and he's grown a lot this year. And then Isaiah's leaning out, like he's getting tall.
Yeah.
And you know,
so
and stuff.
If you're running a business, every missed call is money left on the table. Think about the last time you had a plumbing emergency. If the first plumber didn't answer, did you wait? Or did you call the next one on the list? Chances are you moved on. You need a phone system that keeps up and helps you stay connected 24/7. That's why you need OpenPhone. You'll never miss an opportunity to connect with your customers. The #1 business phone system that streamlines and scales your customer communications. It works through an app on your phone or computer, so no more carrying around 2 phones or using an ancient landline. With OpenPhone, your team can share one number and collaborate on customer calls and text like a shared inbox. That way, any teammate can pick up right where the last person left off, keeping response times faster than ever. So whether you're a one-person operation drowning in calls and text or have a large team that needs better collaboration tools, OpenPhone is a no-brainer. See why over 60,000 businesses trust OpenPhone. OpenPhone is offering my listeners 20% off your first 6 months at openphone.com/Savannah. That's OPENPHONE.com/Savannah. And if you have existing numbers with another service, OpenPhone will port them over at no extra charge. One phone, no missed calls, no missed customers. Do you love your shades but find them getting caught in your hair frustrating? Well, those days are over thanks to Shady Rays. Their best-selling tangle-free collection has nose pieces specifically designed to avoid any snags in your hair. This way, perfectly styled hair remains perfect. Shady Rays offers all the iconic styles from the aviator to cat-eye designed frames, so you're bound to find the perfect pair to match every outfit. For me, I'm an aviator girly. I always have been, I always will be, and I love to use my aviators to actually hold my hair up, and that's why I love their design, because my hair no longer gets caught. Here's the best part. They have the best protection program in all of eyewear. Life happens and Shady Rays gets it. Whether you drop them, break them, or they mysteriously disappear, their lost and broken protection has you covered from day one. Plus, if they're not the perfect fit, no worries. You can exchange or return them for free within 30 days. It's risk-free shopping with fast personal support. With over 300,000 5-star reviews, that's a lot of happy customers. So start shopping for your next pair of sunglasses today and see why Shady Rays is the go-to choice. Exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out an amazing deal for the season. Head to shadyrays.com with code UNLOCKED35 for 35% off their premium polarized sunglasses. Snag your shades and get ready for the summer sun. Obviously, we've spoken about Elise and how freaking amazing she is and the kids, but your story is kind of insane. Like, you grew up here in Hendersonville in Tennessee, and as Elise would say, you are... I probably heard her say this like 10 times in a day, and I'm like, Elise, I get it. I get it. He's the best athlete to ever come from the state of Tennessee. I get it. That's literally what she kept saying.
My biggest fan.
Yeah. She's like, he's the best athlete to come from the state of Tennessee. Like, I will go up next to anyone and say it. Literally, she said that probably 10 times. Yeah. So, but what's crazy is you didn't start playing football until you were what, like 10, 11 years old?
Yeah, organized football. I had older friends that just beat the crap out of me.
Yeah.
And I just had to play with them over and over and over. So when I started playing organized football with kids my age, it was easy. For me, sports have always been a getaway for me. Like I started playing t-ball, and baseball was my first love. And then I played football when I was like 10 or 11.
Well, like for you, and not to cut you off, but like how were you raised? How did you grow up? And how did that impact kind of sports for you? Because I know a lot of people in their stories, like either sports was the only time they got away, or it was the only time they felt a certain feeling, whatever it may be.
Yeah, sports, that's the only time I felt like I was good enough growing up. And I grew up in a 2-family home for up until I was probably 13, 14. My mom and dad were together, but it wasn't the best situation, but I did feel loved growing up. But, you know, we lived kind of lower class area. And I was forced to kind of grow up a little bit quicker than I needed to. I was exposed to things I probably shouldn't have been exposed to, that as you grow older and have your own kids, you learn like, dang, that was kind of messed up.
Yeah.
But I did feel loved, and I was the second oldest of 5.
Wow.
Yep. And so I have my older brother who lived in California when we were growing up. Then you had me, and then my younger brother, Wesley, who went to Vanderbilt and played football. And then you have my twin sisters who are, 7 years younger than me.
Okay.
Went to Ole Miss and ran track. And so I was kind of...
So an athletic family, to say the least.
Yes, thankfully. But kind of going back to your original question, like, you know, there was times I remember having to dig between the couch and hope somebody had dropped a quarter or a few, cents so I can go up to, McDonald's and get me a big and tasty for dinner. There was times where I remember I had to go to school and get like the corporate toilet paper to take home, or I had to go get newspaper and ball it up and flatten it out and ball it up to use it as toilet paper and things like that. And so for me, sports was like my getaway. Sports is where, man, I'm on that field. Everything is happening at home. What I do or don't have doesn't matter. I'm here, and it was how I took my mind off of it. So I always migrated to sports any way I could. I love playing sports. I still love playing sports. And I've even learned now when I have confrontation within my house or home, I kind of go to the golf course, or I go play pickleball, or I used to go play Call of Duty. Anytime I can be competitive, and that's how I think, and that's how I get my mind off of things. And so...
See, I've always said that, like, more times than not, you hear these uber successful athletes that have a rougher upbringing or who went without. And it's like, those are the people who literally, it's like, all right, I'm playing for like my last meal. I'm playing because I don't want to go back here. And that's the difference. I'm not saying there's not successful, privileged athletes, but more times than not, I feel like the most successful athletes are the ones that had to do it because there was no other way out.
Oh yeah, there wasn't a plan B for me. Yeah. Especially once I got to college, and there was not like a, hey, if this doesn't work out, then I'm gonna do this. It's like, nah, I want to be a professional athlete. And I was praying to be a professional athlete back when I was 5. There was times where I would start praying, I would fall asleep, I'll wake back up, finish my prayer, and I don't know if there was ever a day that I missed that prayer. Of like praying to, hey, God, I don't care what it is. I don't know if it's basketball, which is not likely, baseball or football, just please let me be a professional athlete. And thankfully for the hard work that I put in, the grace and love that he had for me, it became possible. Yeah. And
what did it start with? Because did it start with football or baseball? Because didn't you get drafted for baseball?
Yeah, twice.
Which is wild.
Yeah, twice.
Wild. So how did that happen?
So baseball was my first love. I got put in T-ball, and right away it was just a fun game for me. Like I was the most athletic kid on the field, so I would hit the ball, and it might have been a single, but I would manipulate the defense to like try to chase me, and I turn a single into a home run. So it's
That's
just a
amazing.
game. It was a game. I get in all types of pickles and just kind of find a way, and wasn't very coachable at that age, and then just kind of look forward to playing sports. And looking back, I'm so thankful that my distraction was sports, because where I grew up, there were several incredible athletes, way better than me in my neighborhood, that I used to be like, man, he's going to make it to the league. But they get off that road at some way, somehow. And next thing you know, they don't even go to college. They don't get the same opportunity I got. So I am thankful that my mom was super strict. She got on my nerves, and I disagree with a lot of things she did, but there was a reason, because she saw something in me. And she was very strict. Like, I couldn't go hang out the way all my other buddies got to hang out, because she saw, me doing something better and greater. And I'm thankful for it. But it was...
I like to say, too, when we have like a hard time forgiving our parents for things that they've done, I like to say it's their first time living life, too.
Yeah.
And so it's like really hard it was kind of like Judah spoke that night about forgiveness. Like that whole message, I was like,
hit me hard.
It did. It was amazing. So you got drafted for baseball twice. And then how did you transition from baseball to football?
Yes, I got drafted for baseball out of high school.
Okay.
And I knew, like, there's no way I'm ready to play this a grown man sport. And so I was like,
and with baseball, if you don't go, like, you start AAA and rarely do you ever make it out.
Yeah, it's hard, and that's an international sport. Like, you can meet competing against guys over in the Dominican Republic that they go to baseball school in the morning.
Yeah.
And they get 2 hours of learning English, and they play baseball all day. But I knew I wanted to go to college and try out football and baseball. At that point, I think I was having more fun playing football. It was more for my personality.
Yeah.
I felt like I can affect the football field much more than I can affect the baseball diamond. And so I played 3 seasons of football.
Yep.
I played 2 seasons of baseball, and I earned the Bolitnikoff Award, which is considered to be the best receiver in college football, the first ever at Notre Dame. And it made it impossible for me to stay for my senior year. So I entered the 2010 draft, was drafted in the second round, the 60th overall pick by the Seattle Seahawks. I get on the Seahawks, and during my rookie season, I'm drafted again in baseball by the San Francisco Giants, the year they won the World Series. And I remember thinking, like,
holy cow.
Dang. Why I ain't go play baseball? I would have had me a World Series ring. What am I doing? I should have played baseball.
Yeah.
Little did I know, fast forward to 3 years later, I'm playing in Super Bowl 48. We're crowned Super Bowl champions. We defeat the Denver Broncos, Peyton Manning, Eric Decker, Demaryius Thomas, a bunch of other incredible players in the Super Bowl. And now I'm like, okay, I'm glad I didn't play baseball. I'm a Super Bowl champion, and that's how I started my career.
Wow. And you played for 11 years, right? Yeah. And that's a long time to play in football.
That's 3 times, a little bit more than 3 times the average.
And so what teams did you play for throughout that stint?
Drafted by the Seattle Seahawks, played all 4 years there, then signed a 5-year deal with the with the Detroit Lions, which is where I became a household name. And then my 5th season there, I was traded to the Philadelphia Eagles because I guess the Lions couldn't afford me. Finished out that season with the Eagles, and then I signed a 4-year deal with the New York Football Giants when they were at the lowest of low points.
Oh.
And played 2 years there. They released me, and then that was kind of it. I came to the Titans for like 8 games.
Okay.
That was it.
That was kind of. Did you feel like you had run your course? Do you think you could go back today if you wanted to?
Mentally, I do think I could go back, but the last time I ran full speed has been years. Last time I tried to do an agility has been years. I know times right now I get out the bed, my knees are buckle. I'm like, okay, I can't do that anymore. So mentally, I think I could. When I was done, I thought I had like 3 or 4 more years left in me. But I was also in a point in life where, like, man, I got young babies. Am I trying to go sign a 1-year deal or come in mid-season and maybe get cut, maybe not get cut, move my family? Because it was a non-negotiable. My family's going to be with me, period.
Oh, yeah.
Wherever I go, for however long it is.
Even after just being around you guys for the little bit of time that I've been around you, like, I couldn't imagine y'all being separated. I'm like, I just couldn't.
Me either. I love, anytime I go out of town, I just cannot wait to get back. It's like one of them things where, like, on these fun trips. I'm excited to go, and I can't wait to go on these fun trips. And the moment I leave the door to go to the airport, I'm like, oh, I miss my babies.
Yes.
I miss my wife.
Yes.
And then, you know, whenever I come back, like I just got back last night from Alaska on a guy's trip to go fishing. And the first thing I do is I go in, thank the in-laws for coming in town, go straight to the bedroom to give Elise a kiss. And then I went upstairs to see my other two little knuckleheads that were up there to just check on them. They were all asleep, and I was like, hey, daddy's home. I hope you just give me some eye contact.
And they don't care.
And it was like, Dad, I'm asleep. I'm like, it's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. I've been telling you about how incredible Sono Bello is. Then I got this note from Jessica, and I wanted to share. The Sono Bello staff is absolutely amazing. Every time I went for my appointments, I felt like I was seeing family. My journey is still going strong because I took a chance on Sono Bello. Thank you for all of those who helped me achieve my better me. Stories like this are what makes the Sono Bello team the absolute best. The more people you talk to, the more you hear that they're the experts in advanced micro laser fat removal. But you can't beat the care you get from their entire team. In just one visit, you can get rid of that stubborn fat just in time for warm weather. That means feeling amazing all summer. Advanced micro laser fat removal is the permanent solution, and Sono Bello doctors are the experts. Right now, they are running a spring savings event, so schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/unlocked. That's SONOBELLO.com/unlocked. Summer is here, and you know what that means. It's time for breezy dresses, bold colors, and all the effortlessly cool looks you've been waiting to wear. Whether you're heading to rooftop brunches, garden parties, or just soaking up the sun in your favorite sundress, let's talk about what's underneath, because the right shapewear can make all the difference. Today's episode is brought to you by Honey Love, the brand redefining modern shapewear with real comfort and serious support. Their newest innovation, Mesh Sculpt, is the ultimate summer shapewear. Usually lightweight shapewear doesn't offer much hold, and strong shapewear is extremely heavy, but Mesh Sculpt changes all of that. It's breathable and lightweight without sacrificing its power. It keeps you cool while still delivering the sculpted silhouette that you want. Honey Love's targeted compression smooths and shapes exactly where you want it and eases up where you don't. It works with your body, not against it. Plus, thanks to flexible boning on the sides, it stays in place. No rolling, no shifting, no awkward adjusting mid-conversation. With lingerie-inspired details, Honey Love pieces are meant to be seen. So whether you're dressing up for a night out or just feeling yourself in your go-to sundress, Honey Love has your back, your curves, and your comfort covered all season long. For a limited time, you can save 20% off your entire order with our exclusive link, honeylove.com/unlocked. Support the show and start your summer off right by checking them out at honeylove.com/unlocked. So we're not going to see like a Tom Brady out of you of like retiring, coming back, retiring, coming back.
No.
I think you could do like one more season.
You know, I could probably do one more season, but my issue is being an athlete. Like I want to use up all my athleticism. So like now I went through a phase like after football where I went and played baseball for like, you know, I trained for baseball and I went to Port Angeles out in Washington somewhere on one of the islands and played baseball, like strongly considering trying to make a push for that.
Well, yeah, because baseball, you can be kind of old and play.
Right. But, but then I was also like, man, am I really trying to be grinding through AA and single A and independent ball at the age of, you know, I was 32, 33 at this point? Okay, that's not going to happen. So then I went from there to like thinking, all right, maybe I can go be a professional pickleball pro. You know, maybe I can go play on the tour. And I actually do think I could do that. But again, like when you're saying yes to something, you're saying no to something. And so when I was saying yes to all this stuff at that point, I was saying no to London, Goalie, and Isaiah and Elise. And the best thing I've heard as a parent is like, look, be intentional right now because those jokers grow up quickly. And there's been so many people are like, man, I remember just like yesterday that my kid was in diapers or 3 or 4. I was going to baseball games and I would do anything to have those days back. And although the days are long with these little rascals, I cherish those because of the wisdom that I have from other people around me that wish they had those moments back. So, you know, now I'm getting used to just kind of pulling into Music Row, hopping on a podcast,
playing golf,
playing some G. But I get to do everything for the most part right here at home. And I'm thankful that I don't have to work a 9-to-5 job.
So I wrote down a question because I thought of it. A lot of people see your highlights and all the plays that you've made over the years, but what's been your most trying time or play in life?
Ooh. I would say in life, it was that transition from NFL football to civilian life. Mm-hmm. And for me, man, it was since I was 5 years old, I've been on a team and I've been playing sports. I got a chance to play a child's game for 11 years of my adulthood.
Yeah.
Even more if you count college. And so when I played that for that long, and then it's all of a sudden I don't have a team anymore. I don't have that locker room. Man, I battled. I battled mentally, and I could never understand it while I was playing. But the moment you're done, like you're longing for that community, that locker room field, that instant gratification. People online, social media praising you after.
You were like a phenomenon. Like Grayson literally was like freaking out. It's like, over you and Mike Chandler. He's like, am I allowed to speak to them? I was like, yes, you can talk to them.
Absolutely.
But like, you handle yourself in a way to where it makes people excited and proud that they supported you for all those years. Because a lot of athletes are, I'm sorry, but just assholes. And they're like, don't talk to me, don't do this, don't do that. And like, just even now, you're still not playing, but Grayson was like, I don't think you understand. He will go down as one of the best, whatever position you were of all time. He's like, that's how he was with you. Mm-hmm. So I can imagine how hard it is. So going from hearing that on like a day-to-day basis, that becomes your identity, and then when you finish, you're kind of like, all right, what do I do now?
What's next?
Yeah.
So figuring out purpose is the big question that I'm still trying to figure it out, because I thought for the longest time my purpose was to score touchdowns, hit home runs, just be an athlete on the field. But I'm 36 now. Yeah. You can't tell me that my purpose has been served. And so I've been trying to define that. I've been looking for it, reading books, praying about it. And what I've come to understand, my definition of purpose is, how can I have a kingdom impact doing something that I really love? Because with one without the other, it's just not going to work. If I just have a kingdom impact that I don't love, resentment can sneak in.
Yes.
And if I just love something and doing it no good for the kingdom, then you get burnt out. Mm-hmm. You're going to get burnt out. And so trying to find that is...
Because when one is excelling, like, it helps to balance the other out.
Like equally yoked.
Yes, exactly.
Is the wording.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So you're still trying to find that out.
I'm trying to find it now.
But I feel like you and Elise have done a lot when it comes to giving back and trying to make a difference in the community and your kids' lives. And what's some of the initiatives that are important to y'all?
Yeah. Look, I have a lot of visions, but Elise puts it in execution. She does the emails. She tracks it all. She makes it happen. And it's almost like I'm just attaching my name to it, because she does all the behind the scenes. Yeah. And I'm so thankful that I have someone like her that I don't have to pay $1 bajillion to do.
Literally.
Yeah. And so we do so much, and we have such a giving heart, especially being back home in Tennessee, where I'm from, and like seeing how this place has changed, and just knowing the things I went through, but also being aware of the chances that were made on me or taken for me. We do a lot. Like, we did a big coat drive where we got over like 400 coats and mittens and hats for kids in the hood at the school. And our community and my high school donated so much time and effort to do that. And it was such a good feeling, like just being like, man, this is home that I'm affecting. And so she's headed that up. Over our time in NFL, we had to go to Future Foundation. I've always admired our military. And so we've enhanced their lives some way, somehow, by donating time, money. We help a couple of them get engaged, where we got them the diamond.
Oh, that just gave me chills.
Yeah, watch them get engaged on the field before a game. We give them our suites. And so we've done a lot. And, now we're home. We're looking to do more. We're settled in, so we're just trying to find ways affect more because.
Well, I think too, it was like when Elise and I were talking too, it's like your kids are always your focus. And it's also teaching them that, like, yes, you live this privileged life. You do all these fun things, but like most kids don't get to do that. And that's what I loved about Elise was like teaching them like, hey, this is what really goes on in the world. And that, I think kids are the biggest investment you'll ever make. So you have the ability to either make a great investment in this world or make a very poor one based off of how you raise them and what you teach them. And just hearing Elise, like literally when I tell you, I was in such awe. I was like, all right, if I can be like half of what she is, I will be fine. Like she just is amazing.
She is. And kind of going back to the kid thing, like I never understood why parents like, hey, my son went to Harvard and studied this or did that or did this. And I'm like, dude, who cares?
Yeah.
Like your kids did it. But now as a parent, like your kids are in a way a direct reflection of you and what you teach them and what you instill of what's important to them. And so humility is a non-negotiable for us, and trying to, just really like pushing in them like, hey, without God, none of this would be possible, and trying to serve others because that's what the kingdom impact we want to have. That's the legacy we want to leave of, I can care less if people, when I die, people say, hey, he was a heck of an athlete. He scored this many touchdowns. He did that. And he did this. That don't matter because that's not getting you into heaven. I want you to say, hey, man, I had a few instances with him where he was a good person. I took a nugget from his life, applied it to my life, and helped me be a better husband, wife, brother, sister, man of God. And so that's what we're trying to teach our kids because, look, at the doors of heaven, you're not getting in for the shoes, the shirts, the money, or anything. You're getting on what your heart was, who you were good to, how you spread God's love. And so that's what we're teaching our kids.
And how do you think, so switching from kids to marriage, what would you say has been the most successful tool you've used? Or like if maybe during the hardest part of your marriage where it's like, all right, I just want to throw my hands up and walk away? Or was there ever a time that you guys had to like look at each other and say like, we have to instill X, Y, and Z in our marriage for it to go forward?
Look, marriage has probably been the biggest challenge for us because how I grew up, how she grew up is completely different on every aspect. I grew up in the South. She grew up on the West Coast. I grew up Democratic. She grew up Republican. Now things have changed now. On that aspect, I grew up black. She grew up white.
Yeah.
That means
like literally, it's.
She grew up getting grounded. I grew up getting belt to ass.
Yeah.
Period. I grew up being yelled at and cursed at. She grew up, we calmly speak, and so trying to
you literally are polar opposites. Completely,
and you don't really realize that.
It's literally black and white. literally, like in every instance.
And so we still we battle even now, like seeing her parents are together. Both of my parents have been divorced twice. And so I'm talking about literally it's nonstop. And like, we always are going to go back to how we grew up and how we parent or things because that's what we're comfortable. That's all we know.
Yeah.
And so that's still a battle that we're dealing with. Now, I trust her way more because I see like the fruit that it bears, but I also think there needs to be a sternness, and so that's where I come in. I'm like I'm foot on the ground, like I'm not going to ask you. I'm gonna ask you 3 times softly.
Yeah.
If you don't listen, it's time to raise my voice and kind of like be, hey, like this morning, like, hey goalie, hey your cereal's right there. Can you go eat your cereal? Doesn't do it. Okay. Hey goalie, please go eat your cereal. Doesn't listen. Goalie, sit down and eat your cereal. I'm not gonna tell you again. All right. And then Lisa's like, you need to punish, like you ask him one time, you need to fix it right then and there. Like, don't give him 3 chances. And so I'm like, yeah, well, I did want to go belt to ass on the first not eating cereal. But it's so like, man, it's hard. It's hard. We're navigating that. But hey, look, there's more than one way to be married. There's more than one way to parent. And so we're trying to figure that out nonstop because we're in different seasons of our lives with different ages of our kids.
Yes. Do you ever get worried about like as your kids get older? Now you're still in the younger stages, but do you ever think like, oh my gosh, when they're older and out of the house, Do you think you'll go through that identity crisis that you went through with sports, like with each other of like, all right, all we've known is being parents and not just being parents. I mean, Elise is literally, like I said, creating a homeschool program.
Yeah.
So like you're very involved parents. Do you ever worry about like step back and think, okay, who are we going to be when they're gone?
You know, I haven't thought about it much because it feels at this moment it's a long ways away, but truthfully it's going to be like, boop, it's here.
It's literally 10 years from your oldest.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's
wild.
Yes.
It's wild. But we are both really fun people. We like doing a lot.
Yeah.
It's just right now our kids are all the doing. But I think we'll probably be okay.
Yeah.
I think she'll be driven more crazy than I will.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm, daily I'm golfing, pickleballing. I still got my community of buddies and.
Oh, Elise will be like the sorority mom.
Yeah. That is probably the best way you can probably put it. Like we might even move wherever London goes to school. We might buy a house in the same town.
Literally.
And be sorority mom. And I guess I'll just be, I don't even know what I'll do. What my role will be. I'll just be like, yeah.
We're going to be there. I love it though. I love y'all's dynamic and just like as a family, good people. Like it's hard. I like to say Nashville is like big city, small town. But when it comes down to it, it is hard to meet good people who like don't want anything from you, aren't trying to use you to get a leg up, whatever it may be. It seems like someone always has a motive. So it always feels so good to meet people who you're just on like the same. You're just like, I don't care. Like, we love our kids. We love doing good in the world. We want to have fun. Like, it's just been such a great experience getting to know y'all. Other than Elise taking my car keys.
I did not hear about that.
After
the ones with the black thing.
After the 4 others event. So I get back, the guys from pray.com take me back to y'all's house. And I get back and I'm like, my car won't start. I thought the key was in my purse and it's like key not detected. And I'm like, oh God, I was like, I've lost it. I thought maybe the valet guy had it because my car was on. So he had it in his pocket or something. I call Elise and she didn't think about it. And then about 5 minutes later, she goes, oh my gosh, I have your keys. They're in my kitchen drawer. She was like, my car wouldn't start when we left for photos. She was like, and I didn't know why.
That's right.
Yeah.
I remember holding it up and I was like, I don't know what that is, but it didn't cross my mind that you were driving Escalade as well.
I know. And I literally was like calling Grace and I was like, you're going to have to come out here and get me. I was like, you're going to have to bring my spare key. That was like 40 minutes away. It's fine. But yeah, that was hilarious.
But see, her mind moves so fast. She's always thinking about 1,000 things. And so, but she always circles back and figures it out.
Hey, 5 minutes later, she was like, I have them. This is where they are. This is my garage code.
Thank God. Yeah.
That was crazy. Hilarious. Well, all right. So I guess we're going to end on what's next. What's next for you? What fun projects? You've got a podcast. What's your podcast?
Yeah, it's Showtime with Golden Tate, and we both were on Special Forces.
Special Forces, yes. Oh my gosh, I forgot. Okay, how far did you make it?
I made it to the end. I was probably 20 minutes away from passing the course.
No. Why did you throw your hands up?
I didn't throw my hands up. I just kind of lost my patience, and I was delirious, and I didn't. So
I've got to go back and watch it. I'm going back and watching it now because now I know you. So now I have to watch it.
Dude, you're going to laugh because now you're just like, I do some little subtle thing, just like, Golden, you're just such a goofball. Yeah. The amount of times they said, stop pussyfooting to me, it was like, I didn't know what that word meant, but it was like being a goofball. Yeah. But anyway, I made it to the very end and water's not my friend. I don't like water. I can swim, but cold water and me swimming, I'm not Michael Phelps out there. So
that was my thing, was they wanted me to jump off of a platform into a body of water at night in New Zealand in the winter time.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm sorry, but no, I'm not jumping in the water at nighttime and then swimming hundreds of yards to the shore. No, I'm set. I'm all good. I literally said, screw y'all, I'm going to get pizza. I was hungry. The food was terrible. I had to have wet clothes on, and it's, like I said, wintertime, like the whole thing. I do wish they would have like a reunion season and bring back people from different seasons. Now that would be fun.
You would do it again.
I would do it again.
I battle between if I'm going to do it or not. I don't like the anxiety level I would have knowing that I'm about to go do this again in 2 weeks. I just don't know if I could deal with it. Like that nervous pit in your stomach, like, oh my gosh, are they going to throw me in the water again? Am I going to do the buds training again?
But
Am I going to get tear gassed again? Like I wouldn't be able to sleep.
Me, I would do so much better now knowing what I'm getting myself into.
That's true.
Now I'm like, all right, well, now I know how to prep. Now, because I didn't like agree to do the show until like 2 or 3 weeks before. And
Same.
so it wasn't like, then you had people who were like, oh, I've been prepping for this for like months. And I'm like, I was not. So I don't know what to expect. I would do it again.
Okay.
I would do it again.
Okay, so if you did it again and you had the old cast members that they chose, what 3 celebrities would you vote to come do it as well?
Oh, all right. I've got to see. Hold on. You know who was on my team that I loved?
Who?
Robert Ory.
Oh, yeah, basketball guy.
Robert Ory, NBA Hall of Famer.
Yep.
What he didn't tell, so, he lost his little girl to cancer. And then what he didn't tell anyone was on his way there, his dad passed away. And didn't tell anyone until he like got to the end of it.
Oh no.
And he slept next to me, like, cause we got our little cots, and he's so big that he didn't fit on it.
Feet had to be off of it, right?
Yeah.
At the end of it.
Like, but when I tell you, the kindest, sweetest human being I have ever come in contact with.
Oh man.
Like, I just loved him, and he stayed in it as long as he could, but then he was like, I've just got to get home to my family. Like, but just the strength he showed and everything was absolutely insane. Like, I loved him. Let's see. I want to see
my guy
all
was
their
Brody
cast.
Jenner.
Oh, really?
I love me some Brody. Like, that was my dog in the show. Like, he laughed at all my jokes. He also got me straight, for, hey, G, let's go lock in a little bit. He was just a buddy. Like, we ended up having a relationship after the show. We went on a ski trip together to Yellowstone.
No way.
My wife and I are going to go to his wedding here soon.
See, I think it would be cool. Obviously, you, me, that would be really fun. Who else? I don't know. Maybe like Cam Newton again.
Okay.
Because who was the basketball player that was hilarious? That was like
Which
afraid
season?
of everything.
Which season?
The big tall guy.
Like first season, Dwight Howard?
Dwight Howard.
Oh, yeah.
I would do that just for the humor of it.
Yeah.
Like, he was afraid of everything.
Really?
Oh, you got to watch it. He was literally afraid of everything. Like, it was hilarious. Like, I think he was on the same season as Hannah Brown, maybe.
Yeah,
and like,
yeah.
she was just like tackling that shit like no other. And he was literally afraid of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Honestly, I think we need to add Elise to it, and then she'd kick all of our asses.
Dude.
And then
Elise would do well.
it would be
not
fun
in
to
cold.
see a couple's special forces. That would be cool.
I would imagine they're going to have something like that in the near future.
I feel like you already know something.
No, I don't know anything, but I think it could be a possibility that would drive ratings because we, love seeing chaos.
Spouses fight.
Exactly.
And exactly.
Right.
Of course.
And in that environment, whew.
You know what I said, though, would change the whole atmosphere, too? Is if there was something you won at the end. Mm-hmm. Like, for me, when I did the show, I was in a position of needing the money. Mm-hmm. Like, both my parents were gone. I got 2 kids. I didn't know what I was going to do coming off of COVID, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
So, like, I did it not because I wanted to. I did it because I needed the money. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, if there would have been, like, you win X amount of dollars at the end, I'm like, you could have beat me for all I care. Like, I would have stayed in it for that. You know what I mean? Like, I think they would have more people like fight harder if there was something to win at the end. Because that's what people don't realize is you get paid the same regardless.
Exactly.
Like whether you stay for 2 days or 12 days. I went on Masked Singer. Did you know that?
I did not know that. Can you sing?
Can we show him? No, you got to pull it up. You got to get his reaction on
you
camera.
can sing
yes,
like that?
I can.
So you can actually sing though?
Yeah, watch.
Okay, so I'm gonna watch that, but I'm gonna need you to sing me a little line or something, a bar or something.
We'll get it. We'll get the sound queued up for that right after this, Golden.
Let's go.
I cannot sing, Golden.
It's good.
It's hilarious.
Near the village, the peaceful village, the lion sleeps tonight. Near the village, the quiet village, the lion sleeps tonight.
You lost it. You held on.
I was like, I couldn't do it.
This is great.
Yeah, the fact that I did that, I did it clearly for the money.
Good for you, though.
You need to do it. That, you should do it. That would be hilarious.
I'll body it too, because I know I can't sing either.
Nuh-uh.
I can't sing a lick. I can sing in the shower, but that's about it.
Yeah, no. I embarrassed myself on national television.
I'm open to doing it because you set the standard. Like,
it was hilarious, and they would put people on there that like could actually sing, and I'm
Right,
like,
that's
are
how
you
I know it.
like really? And then you put me, and then like they almost guessed who I was, but yeah, so I did that. But all right, so we're gonna see Golden Tate on The Masked Singer next. I think this will.
What will be my song though? You think?
Oh, it depends on what themes they have going on.
Oh, so they kind of pick the song.
Oh
You
yeah,
don't. Okay.
that's how I got stuck with frickin' Lion King. Yeah. Yep. But until next time, we may see you on Special Forces again. We may see you on The Masked Singer, and on your podcast.
Let's
so
go.
There we are. I think today was very eventful.
It was.
It was eventful. So
We
thank
have so
you.
much more we could talk about.
We do.
too.
I do think we need to do our golf thing.
Let's do it.
We should.
Let's do it.
Do just like a fun golf series this summer, and like get people a little, drinking a little, and then like talking about all their life stuff.
Let's go.
You know how much shit we could get out of people on a golf course?
Absolutely. After some tequila shots too.
Oh yeah. Done deal.
Nailed it.
All right. Stay tuned.